I'm doing part 2 of my review of the new season of Doctor Who. This will be like part 1, but in part 2 I'll be covering episodes 5 to 8. That's episode 5, Dot and the Bubble, episode 6, Rogue, and episode 7 and 8, which I'll review together because it's a two-parter, The Legend of Ruby Sunday and The Empire of Death. And then I'll rank them which ones I like best at the end of the video. So this is just episodes 5 to 8. I'll do another video later ranking the entire season and then give me final thoughts of it. Okay, first up's episode 5, Dot and the Bubble. And I actually enjoyed this a lot. In fact, I think it's an underrated gem. It's the second story where the Doctor's not featured in this season. He's not featured much, just a little bit. So it's one of those Doctor Light stories. And oddly enough, the two stories where the Doctor's not in this season are my two favourites. That and 73 Yards. So, Dot and the Bubble stars Callie Cook, who plays Linda Pepperbean. And I thought she was great at playing a spoilt rich kid. So in the story, everyone's addicted to this AI-controlled device. And while they're using it, they're getting killed by these slug monsters. So it's like a skit of young people addicted to mobile phones. But in this, it's a bubble around the head. So it's a take on social media as well. Things like Facebook and Twitter that people get addicted to. It's good to have the lead character. Lindy is very unlikable, but it's very well played by the actress. So in some scenes she blocks the Doctor, but he pops back up on a device, and she's like selfish, all about her. And she's even racist. In the final scene when she won't go with the Doctor, who says he'll save her and the rest of them. She won't go with him because he's black. They're worried that he'll contaminate their race, and they'd rather risk death than go with him. So it's about the effects of social media on society, and it also features racism and elitism. So I thought it was an underrated gem, and I'd actually give this top marks, 10 out of 10. Very surprised by how good it was. Next, episode 6, we have Rogue. So this is set in 1813, and the Doctor falls in love with this bounty hunter called Rogue, and he's hunting these shape-shifting aliens who are using people's bodies. It's almost like cosplay, where they're just using the bodies to have fun. And this episode wasn't written by Russell T Davies, but it seems very much like he has a massive influence on it. And it's famous by a lot of fans for the gay kiss between the Doctor and Rogue. It's a full-on close-up of the Doctor kissing Rogue. So I thought the story about the shape-shifting aliens, I thought all that was quite poor actually, although there is some witty dialogue, but that's mostly by Millie Gibson, who's quite excellent in this. But the story's disappointing. It does have good costumes and, like I say, the witty dialogue, but it's mostly about the Doctor fancying a bloke. And personally, I found the gay kissing a bit out of place for basically a children's family TV show. I know a lot of people will be up in arms at me saying that, saying, well, what about straight kissing? Well, you don't say much of that either this season. Just having two blokes kissing, it's not for everyone, is it? And it's one of the agendas of the show, all about diversity and nothing else. It's almost like grooming kids. Hey, look at this, kids. He's a man and another man kissing. So personally, it wasn't for me. They should have these sort of things for proper LGBTQ shows. I said that right, didn't I? LGBTQ. There's that many bloody letters these days. And if you criticise this story, you get classed as being homophobic. Well, all I can say is fuck 'em. I'd give this 2 out of 10. And it kind of sums up Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor. He's alright at being camp and super gay, but he's not very dramatic. If you compare him to Tom Baker, them dramatic scenes, Tom always had a sense of danger. But Ncuti Gatwa, he's alright when it's fun, if it's a comedy story. Put him in a dramatic moment, he's not very good. He doesn't have much range as an actor. That's what I think personally. Then next up, we have the two-parter, The Legend of Ruby Sunday and The Empire of Death. Two-part by Russell T Davies. The first part wasn't too bad. It had quite a decent build-up to the reveal that it was Sutek. However, as soon as you say Sutek, his appearance is just a CGI dog. And it's not a patch off how he looked in Pyramids of Mars with the mask. And I knew something was up that I wasn't really excited that was a story that features Sutek out of one of my favourite stories of all time, Pyramids of Mars, but I wasn't excited at all. And then between both the episodes, you get Tales from the TARDIS, which I've reviewed on the channel, the other 6 Tales from the TARDIS. Well, I did another one that featured Ncuti Gatwa and Melly Gibson talking about Sutek in the memory TARDIS. And they did this before the screen Pyramids of Mars with new special effects. However, they cut it, so it kind of spoils it. It's pointless having new special effects if it's going to be cut. I'd rather watch the original. So anyway, this Tales from the TARDIS just had them two talking, and it's probably the worst of the Tales from the TARDIS. Just basically saying Sutek's changed, kind of explaining why his appearance has changed. Then finally we get part 2, The Empire of Death. So it's, like I say, Sutek's a CGI character now, and he's just like a daft looking dog with no menace whatsoever. However, they do use the same voice from the actor who played Sutek in the 70s. So I think he was about 91. So they got him to do the voice again, so at least that was something. But with Russell T Davies' two-parters, he goes over the top and he writes himself into a hole. Like, everyone dies, and you know for a fact when everyone dies there's going to be like a plot device, a reset button. And in this case, it's when Sutek dies, the Doctor disposes of Sutek and everyone comes back to life, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So Sutek's been hanging on the TARDIS, which is ridiculous. And he's evolved into this dog, CGI dog creature. And one of the worst scenes for me was when the Doctor and Ruby, they managed to put this dog lead on Sutek, and the Doctor blows a whistle, the dog whistle, and they drag him off into the vortex and leave him there and he dies. How ridiculous is that? There's no logic to it. Like, this is supposed to be the most powerfulest character ever, and all the Doctor does is put a leader on him, takes him for a walk into the vortex. The end. It's almost like he's just taking the piss. There's a scene where there's a woman and a dead baby. That's quite a good scene actually, but how the hell did she survive and everyone else died? And then of course everyone comes back to life, including her and the baby. There's a scene where you see Mel. It's nice to see Mel, she had plenty to do. However, the action scene where her and the Doctor are on a little scooter thing, and she's travelling fast as hell and the dust's going to catch up with them. The action scene's done poorly, because some scenes it looks like it's only inches away from them, and then they go around a corner or something, and then it's further back, and then it's close up again, which is typical of badly shot action sequences where there's no sense of geography. So I thought that was poorly done, badly edited. Then after Sutek dies, you see who Ruby's mother is, who's just an ordinary bloody woman. That's a massive letdown, because all through the season it was hyped up who's Ruby's parents, who's Ruby's mother. And it turns out it's just an ordinary woman. Then there's lots of plot holes. Why was Ruby's mother pointing at a sign and deciding to name her daughter Ruby? Like, why would she actually point? And why was she wearing a bloody cloak and a hood? Like, who wears them? No one. Then you get this mysterious character, Mrs. Flood, and she talks to the bloody camera right at the end. It's proper Walt Disney. Yeah, I expected the Walt Disney titles to pop up after that. It was almost like a cartoon. There was just so much wrong with this story. Why was Rose Noble working for UNIT now? Last time I saw her, she was a school kid. Should be at school. At least she didn't have anything to say. So basically, this just took a big shit on Pyramids of Mars. It's strange because Genesis of the Daleks and Pyramids of Mars, two Tom Baker stories, they're probably my two favourite all-time stories. Russell T Davies this year and Christmas last year, around Christmas time, he's just took a dump on both stories. He's made Davros be able to walk, and he's turned Sutek into this ridiculous dog creature that's not very good, looks crap, no menace at all. So basically Russell T Davies is just a crank. He can't bloody write. He's a useless idiot. I'll give this story 0 out of 10. I was so disappointed with it. Anyway, I'll rank the 3 stories. In third place, I've got The Legend of Ruby Sunday, Empire of Death. I'll class that as one story. Thought it was bloody awful. And I feel sorry for the poor buggers who watched this in the cinema and want me bloody money back. Really disappointing. Terrible way to end the season.
It's a fucking disgrace.
In second place, I've got Rogue. And even though it's in second place, I still didn't like it. There is some funny moments with Millie Gibson, good dialogue, but it's basically just grooming kids, having gay kissing. A shit story, basically.
What a fucking disgrace.
Number 1 place, there was a really good story, Dot and the Bubble. Thought that was an underrated classic, actually. The reason why I like it so much is it's different. The Doctor's hardly in it, and it's less like Doctor Who. It's more like a strange sci-fi story, which I liked. So anyway, that's my review of the last 3 stories. And like I say, I'll do another video where I'll rank all the stories in order, all 8 stories, and I'll give you my final thoughts of the season. And I've got a lot to say as well. Probably be ranting all the way through it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe and share. Bye everyone. Bye. Bye.
I've got a kind choke joint on so it doesn't hurt, and I don't hold them tightly. Whatever happens... Oh, darling, stop that, darling. Stop it. Come on, here. I think he caught his ear. Now...